Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. And as you can see, this is somewhat of an unplanned live stream because my back wall is pretty empty. I am going to be updating the wall here momentarily in accordance with some recommendations that were made in previous live streams where I asked for recommendations on what kind of changes I might want to make to the back wall, what kind of themes you guys might want to see. So I'm going to be implementing another one of those suggestions in time for Sunday show. But because this was an unplanned live stream, I did not get a chance to revise said wall before I jumped on here. Gotham City Comics is in the house. My man Joey, the Stuntmaster, and son are probably in the room. Don't want to go into all the detail, but you guys know what I mean. So I decided to come on here real quick. There is a news event that I want to talk about momentarily, an appeal that I want to make to you guys, and also some just general updates. It occurred to me yesterday that I might need to make some changes to the time at which videos are actually being released by the channel. So I'm going to be making some revisions, and I'll probably talk to those changes on Sunday as part of the Ready, Set, Go preview show. I will give you guys a little bit of an update on what kind of changes we're going to be making to the times in which videos are going to be released. I think it'll make sense, at least in my head, it makes sense. And hopefully to you guys, it will make sense when I ultimately talk about it on Sunday show. So shout out to my man Vox. How you doing, brother? It's good to see you. So real quick, I don't want to stretch this thing out unnecessarily, but my man Mark brought me some news earlier today, and today has been a busy day, so I have not been able to jump on here to talk about some of this stuff, until just now, and I am between activities, so I want to make it sort of quick to talk about this. There seems to have been a resolution to the lawsuit that was filed between Scarlett Johansson and the House of Mouse. If you guys remember, she sued them related to the fact that they chose to release the Black Widow movie on the Disney Plus streaming platform. And that was in direct violation of some terms of her contract, which were, of course, tied to her compensation, which up until that point was about $20 million. So she sued the House of Mouse. And we now are getting some details, kind of, sort of how that thing has been resolved. I don't know if we're fully ever going to get all the details, but it has resolved itself. So let's look at this real quick. This is actually from the Huffington Post. Scarlett Johansson, Disney settle lawsuit over Black Widow. Definitely a good headline there. And it says Scarlett Johansson and the Walt Disney Company on Thursday settled her lawsuit over the streaming release of Black Widow, bringing a swift end to what had begun as the first major fight between a studio and star over recent changes in rollout plans for films. And you guys know, because of the pandemic, movie houses, there's been a lot of just issues with how movies are getting released, where they're getting released, and how that is disrupting the way that I guess business has been done for a period of time, upsetting actors, producers, directors, certainly the movie houses themselves. And this is happening both with Marvel movies and also with Disney movies. And it says here that Johansson filed a lawsuit in the LA court 2 months ago, saying that the streaming release of the Marvel movie breached her contract and deprived her of potential earnings. And again, as I mentioned, up until that point, she had received about $20 million. Terms of the deal were not disclosed, but the two sides released joint statements basically saying, hey, there is nothing to see here. We are all friends. We have resolved this, and we are going to continue working together. That is essentially the gist of the statements that were released by the two camps. And that reads to me like Scarlett Johansson got a lot of money that made her happy. But the question is, will they still work with her? That'll be the question. I am happy to have resolved our differences with Disney, said Johansson, who has played Natasha Romanoff in 9 movies going back to 2010's Iron Man 2. I am incredibly proud of the work we've done together over the years and been greatly enjoyed my creative relationship with the team. I look forward to continuing our collaboration. And the chairman of Disney Studios basically said, pleased that we have been able to come to a mutual agreement. We appreciate her contributions to the MCU and look forward to working together on a number of upcoming projects. So we will see. We will see what all happens with this thing. And you get a little detail here. It says the lawsuit said Johansson's contract guaranteed an exclusive theatrical release. Again, the movie was only supposed to be released in theaters. Her compensation was tied to that. Disney did a pivot and actually went against that contract. But with her recent releases since the coronavirus pandemic began, Disney released the film simultaneously in theaters and through its streaming service for a $30 rental fee that I have not paid. Let me see if I can find another thing here. It says Disney intentionally breached the agreement without justification in order to prevent Miss Johansson from realizing the full benefit of her bargain with Marvel. And I don't think that that was the intent. I think that they were trying to get the movie out there. They were trying to make some money, and in the process ended up breaching it. I don't think it was purposeful to prevent her from making monies, but when attorneys write these things, that's kind of the angle that they try to take with this thing. And it says Disney said the change release plan significantly enhanced her ability to earn additional compensation on top of the $20 million she has received to date. So that was Disney basically saying, hey, we didn't jack her up. She actually has a better chance at making money. Clearly, Natasha Romanoff, aka Scarlett Johansson, did not agree with that. But again, this I think appears to be an amicable resolution to this controversy where it appears that both parties are somewhat satisfied with the outcome of this thing. So I think that that's good stuff. Kimball, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Let me see. I'm scrolling through some of the comments here. What is that? Matt Wood says, what is nice about our kids getting older is that they can drive while How about that? There are some wonderful things that come with children getting older. That's what's up. I'm sure she's getting paid. Yeah, no doubt about that one. No doubt about that. The question is, how much did she make? I don't know that we'll ever get those details, but again, I'm pretty sure that she made some good money. That is my guess. And again, this goes back to the larger conversation we've been having about these creators, whoever they are, should get their compensation. But a lot of it comes down to the contracts and what the contracts say and don't say and all that good stuff. But clearly, somebody had to pay up for this one. So let me scroll through, make sure. I think I'm all caught up with that one. So again, if you guys are coming in a little bit late, and we definitely have a small group here. We just kind of went through some of the news related to the Scarlett Johansson Disney lawsuit over the Black Widow. It seems to have resolved itself with both parties basically walking away saying there is nothing to see here, all is good, and we are looking forward to working together with each other into the future. So fingers crossed that we actually continue to see Natasha Romanoff in some way, shape, or form. She's dead, so I don't know how they're going to do it, but maybe there's a Black Widow sequel movie. I don't know. I don't know what the plans are for this thing, but it will be interesting to see if they do indeed continue working together into the future. So the other thing that I wanted to make mention of, for those folks that are coming in a little bit late, we'll probably talk about this more on the Sunday show. I'm going to be changing some times at which content comes out from the channel. I think it makes sense in my head. I want to process through it a little bit more over the next few days to make sure that it does make sense. But I will reveal the details of that on Sunday as part of the Ready, Set, Go preview show. The other thing I wanted to ask you guys, if you have not yet completed the survey, the Go Collect survey, I want to invite you to take care of that for me. I need at least 60 more people. Because part of it is, my thing is, I think that I can do this, like activate this number of people to complete the survey to make it representative of the whole, right? There's like all this stuff that you do with surveys to make sure that the findings can be extrapolated out to a larger group, but you need to make sure that your sample size is appropriate to allow you to do that. So I need at least 60 more people to take this 4 to 5 minute survey It is linked in the description of this video. So I want to ask you guys to knock that out for me. I would be grateful if you could take a few minutes to do it. And I think there's a lot of people here that did this and are like, it is no big deal. Yeah, there is a survey. So basically, Go Collect has come to me and basically asked me, they were like, so what degree of overlap do you think your audience has with like those folks out there that have awareness of Go Collect? I'm like, well, because we've worked together for many years, I can probably say that it's a pretty high percentage of my audience that knows Go Collect, because we did the Go Collect giveaway for what, 130 some odd weeks, 28 weeks, something like that. So I feel like the overlap is good. So their next thing was, okay, we want to better understand where people are with our service. Have they signed up? Have they not signed up? If not, why not? What features do they like? What functionality do they like? If we were to expand into other areas of collectibles, like if we were to become a pricing guy for other collectibles, which collectibles would you like to see Go Collect take on? So I am appreciative that they thought enough to come to me to ask me to do the survey with you all's help, because I hope that the findings will actually be used to enhance the functionality that we get from Go Collect, and or allow them to introduce new products that we might be able to leverage in the future. So it takes about 5 minutes. Like I said, if you guys can knock that out, I definitely appreciate that. Brian says, got it done. My man Mike says, super quick. That's what's up. Did Regie set all of it? They all fell down. People kept complaining that things were crooked. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just take it all down. No more books. We're gonna just do discussions with no more books. Joey's asking if anyone is headed to NYCC. I think Doug is going to be there. I think he may have a table, honestly, at NYCC. So you guys may want to check him out if you are headed that way. Thank you, Chris. Again, for all those folks that took care of it, I appreciate you. I really do appreciate you guys being so responsive and knocking it out for me. Let's get non-sports car price guy. Hey, you know what's Mr. Lee? That was actually my recommendation. My recommendation was let's do non-sports cards, and you'll see why I make that recommendation in an upcoming video, possibly in the next 2 weeks. So definitely stay tuned for that. There you go. There you go. Doug and Joe are headed to NYCC, and I think both of those individuals are also coming to GarageCon on November 20th, right here at my house. Steve, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you, my friend. What's up with the wall? I got tired of people saying that stuff was crooked, Steve Conge. So I decided to just take it all down, brother. Just no more. We're not doing any more. All the I would need another wall, my friend, because I have a lot of Noctera variants, not as many. There we go. My wife is giving me an update. So there details for the GarageCon. How do we get them? You stay tuned. Vox, thank you, brother, for completing that for the survey. I appreciate it. The details will be forthcoming. At this point, all I can tell you is that GarageCon is happening on November 20th. It is happening here at my house in and about Charlotte, North Carolina. That is essentially that's all you need to know at this moment, right? I will tell you, I'm still thinking through different things that I want to do. I've received special permission from the wife to do a couple of things, so I'm still processing through. There will be freebies that are going to be given away at GarageCon, things that I've accumulated that I'm going to pass back to the community, things that have been sent to me that I'm going to pass back. There will be books for sale, raw and slabbed. You'll get a chance to hang out with me, and probably more importantly, get an opportunity to hang out with one another, because I think that's one of the real benefits of GarageCon, is that all of the comic book soldiers and Giving Gang coming together and being able to hang out and do more than just these screen names. You get an opportunity to press some flesh of the people that many of you have had an opportunity to get to know online. So GarageCon is, for those that don't know, I'm in the process of trying to trademark the name GarageCon. And we are in a little bit of a back and forth with the attorneys for Biv DeVoe, Michael Bivens specifically, who has a trademark that he has filed for Garage Concert Series. So we are having some back and forth between the attorneys. I don't even want to know what this is going to cost me, but we are going to try to get it done. Thanksgiving and GarageCon. No. GarageCon. Thanksgiving is on your own. So real quick, and then I'm going to get out of here because I got some stuff to do. It appears that Scarlett Johansson and Disney have settled their lawsuit over the way that Black Widow was actually released. There were some contract terms in Scarlett Johansson's contract, which basically said that this movie, Black Widow, was going to be a theatrical release only. Her compensation was actually tied to those ticket sales, right? And up until the point of Disney doing what they did, she had been compensated about $20 million. Disney, along with many other companies out there, made some decisions to release things both in the theaters and also on their streaming platforms. And for their part, Disney decided to do it on the Disney Plus platform. That triggered off a lawsuit from Scarlett Johansson that is a breach of contract. But it appears as of Thursday in the Los Angeles Superior Courthouse, they have come to some terms of the agreement. Unfortunately, none of those terms have been disclosed. So terms of the deal were not disclosed, but the two sides released joint statements that basically said, we are still friends and plan to work together in the future. So only time will tell whether this actually goes down. Fingers crossed that it does. I'm pleased that it was resolved the way that it was, basically out of the public eye, right? Like, have a fight. Have your fight behind closed doors. Then when you come out, everybody's friends again. Everybody continues to do the things that need to be done to continue putting out these amazing movies. And fingers crossed that that is exactly how this one will resolve in some other type of Natasha Romanoff appearance on the big or small screen. Would the wall look good with graded comics over a red wall with an R logo? I think that it would. Red is a very hard color to show on screen. It also will detract potentially from the books that are placed on the wall. There is a reason, Jay Fox, that I chose the neutral color of gray after doing a lot of research to determine the proper color that will affect the lighting here in the room, as well as my own color palette, my tone here, and then the color of the books that are being placed on the wall. It is best for a gray wall instead of a red wall. There was a reason why it took me so long to get it done, because I have to do some research, and as a result of that research, had to get things set up, had to make lots of adjustments. You don't just willy-nilly paint a wall. All right, scrolling through, the disclosure is lots of money and lots of money exchanging hands. Touche, congé. All right, scrolling through. All right, so real quick, I'll just recap for you guys. If you have not done the survey for my buddies over at Go Collect, I definitely want to invite you guys to go ahead and do that survey. It is linked in the description. It will take you about 5 minutes to give some feedback to those folks over there that will hopefully help them to improve the service that I've been buying for like 3 some odd years, that you may also be buying. But then it also may allow them to introduce some additional products into the market. And when you do the survey, you'll see what I mean, because I help them to write parts of the survey. So you guys will see exactly what I'm pointing to in that. With that said, we're going to wrap this up. If you need to reach out to me, feel free to do so on Instagram at Regie Collects. Take care.